Hi, this is Jim, N4BFR. It's Sunday, September 20th. Here's a daily and weekly COVID-19 metrics update for Georgia. We'll start off with the daily, and in general, it was a below average day across the board for tests, new cases, and death reports all falling off. Got a note after yesterday's report from the Department of Public Health on Twitter that said, hey, we're integrating some old data, and so some of this case data may be off. Also had a message back and forth with somebody on Twitter that says basically, this is a good thing because they're integrating all of these remote laboratories in. And my question back to them was, why are we waiting 6 months to do that? So the trend data is going to be off because the DPH hasn't been able to coordinate the data well. Best we can possibly say is that the data is flat, and we'll have to continue to watch it, and maybe we can find out how many more of these surprise little integrations we're going to have, because this is the second one that I'm aware of now. So maybe we're done, hopefully, but we'll see what we can find out there. But until then, it's a garbage in, garbage out kind of thing. So, but I will say what the data says is 15,000 cases, 15,000 tests, down 10% from last week. Cases were down 24% from last week. Don't know how or why that may be inflated previously, so hopefully cases down being a good thing. Only 3 deaths were reported. Now, we've talked about this before. Death reporting is a very manual process, and prior to the surge we had, we would see 2, 3, 4 death reports on a Sunday just simply because people weren't filling out the reports. So it appears we are back to that, and we'll just say the 7-day average sits at 38 and watch it from there. New hospitalizations saw its typical weekend slump today, so we'll see how that data comes out over the next few days. And then active hospitalizations was flat, so we've been between 1417 and 1420 and 1430 for the last few days, so we are really kind of in a place where we have stopped materially declining, and we're just kind of sitting around at this just over 1,400 beds in use range. On the CCU side, when we take a look at that, we are looking at only one region. Floyd Medical up in Rome is at 91%. The rest have all fallen below 80%. And in fact, from a state perspective, we are at 79%. Interesting to see some of these places that have been previous hotspots to be now in the 70% range. So good news from a COVID perspective as far as that goes. Adding a little feature here as we transition to 2 videos a week versus the prior daily videos, and that's going to be headlines. So looking at the headlines through Sunday, interesting that we passed 300,000 cases this week without much ceremony or discussion. We are still 5th nationwide for cases. That puts us behind just a select few very much larger states, but we still are very high on the case rank. In the meantime, we passed 3 million tests as well, but over the last 21 days, we've dropped nationally from being 9th in testing to being 13th in testing. So even with backlogs getting loaded in and whatever other finagling they're doing with the numbers, we are still behind in testing compared to our peers and other states. And then finally in the headlines, the governor has said that they're putting together a plan so there could be more visitations in long-term care facilities. There is a step-by-step process, whereas they have to have not had a case for, I think it's 28 days, and then they'll go forward. So that's a benefit there. I didn't put school stuff in here because I didn't see anything material. But I will definitely point out that there are still a mix of schools trying to get restarted and figure out how they're going to go there, and so that's very individual versus a statewide thing. So we'll keep an eye on that. Going on to the weekly. Here's the weekly chart. Testing was up 26% week on week. I'll beat this dead horse one more time. We don't know how much of that was backlog data and how much of that was actual more. Oh, hello, Lucy. That's Lucy the cat. She has decided to come and say hello and visit. What are you doing, Lucy? I'm in the middle of something. Hi. Oh, is it dinner time? Everybody loves your tail. Nobody wants to see your butt, Lucy. Okay. So anyway, consider dead horse beaten as far as testing and case data. 11,000 new cases this week still puts us way above where we were previously, but not as far as the June-July trends. It also puts us above where we were last week. So I don't know if last week's an anomaly because of the holiday week, so we'll see how it all flattens out over the next couple of weeks. I do see hospitalizations went up, and then deaths were down 27 week over week, so that is good at 269. That's the lowest they've been since mid-July, so we are hopefully continuing at a pace that will show us with deaths slowing. Let me just show the mortality analysis real quick. Right now, we had been up in the 2.5 or so % of deaths per new case. This week, we are dropping down still above 2%, but we are improving versus the last couple of weeks. So that's a good sign to put in there as well. So that's how we're looking for data today. Just want to remind everybody that given the pace of what's happening with COVID-19 at this point, I'm going to keep posting daily reports on Reddit and Facebook. However, I'm going to cut the videos down to twice a week so I can get into a little more in-depth like headlines and hopefully paw through the data a little bit more and find out some more interesting things as we go along. So the next video will be Wednesday. Until then, have a great night, great morning, whatever the case may be.